What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a tint and talk. So if you're thinking about tinting your Model Y, this video is going to contain every piece of nerdy knowledge that you wanted to know about window film. So for this vehicle in particular, we're going to do a clear 75 for the windshield. We're going to do 15 on the front and then 50 on the back. That way they'll both be about 12% and match. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, now's a good time to hit that subscribe button. So the first thing you kind of need to know about ceramic window film is that not all film is created equal. Every company typically has their own kind of chemist and scientist that formulate their specific formula for their window tint. But window tint, it's basically made in the same 4 factories in the world in China. But it's not like they're just reboxing film. Each company has their own scientist and develop their own proprietary film. You can get cheaper ceramic film with larger particles, but it's gonna look like you have astigmatism, like when you're driving at night or in the rain. It's just not gonna look good. So in a quality film, those molecules are really small ceramic particles. So it's going to reject heat exceptionally well, and it's going to be super clear, so you won't have any distortions, you know, when you're looking through your windows, driving during the day or even at the night. And then there's the color too, right? So I really love the color of the GeoShield C2 ceramic. It's just nice factory black. It looks great. Other companies, they might cheap out on the color. So it might look brown, purple, blue. It's just the different ways that the film is colored. So there's dyed, which is literally dipping the film in ink for a specific amount of time to get the desired percentage. And then there is carbon. So carbon molecules actually have a little tiny bit of heat rejection. So getting a carbon ceramic, you get that nice, deep black color, a little bit of heat rejection from the color. And then with those small ceramic particles, even more heat rejection with that optical clarity. And then you have the adhesive too, right? So not all films are created equal. So a lot of times adhesives will fail in dyed film because the dye is actually put in the adhesive right outside where the sun is. So that sun bakes that dye in adhesive, the tint turns purple and bubbles up. That's why it's cheap. It's the cheapest type of film to make. With the GeoShield C2 ceramic, it's the carbon and the ceramic. So it has a lifetime warranty. So if you're paying, you know, only a few $100 for a full ceramic tint job, that's probably not a true ceramic. And if it is, it's probably very cheaply made, and you're just not going to have an enjoyable experience driving around with the, you know, the sun's going to be all blurry at night. The lights are going to look crazy. So just do yourself a favor. If you have a Tesla, just get the good stuff. Don't try to cheap out. And then another one I get is Expel. Expel is the end all be all. There's no one better than Expel. So from my perspective, Expel is more of a marketing firm. They market the film very, very well. It's a great film, but so are many, many other brands. It's not necessarily better or worse than any other film brand. It's just marketed to you, which is probably why you know what Expel is. But the majority of people don't know anything about window film. You know, you might just have some brand recognition. You've probably heard of 3M. But yeah, it's not like it's the best film and nobody can even compete with that film. It's a good film, I won't lie. It's a good film, but GeoShield is good too, right? And you're not paying for all that marketing, right? They're putting their money in research and development and not trying to blast out social media ads and put Expel on everything and all that stuff. But there's other brands too, High Tech, SunTech, Solar Guard, Rogue Window Films. There's a million stuff out there. And even with those ceramic films, you're gonna have like, oh, this is a dyed ceramic, this is a carbon ceramic, this is a dual layer super ceramic, this one is premium platinum plus ceramic. No one knows what any of that stuff means unless you're in the industry. So if you're looking for ceramic film, just know that there's many different types of film. The best thing you could kind of do is go for the TSER rating or the IRR rating. So that's, you know, total solar energy rejected or infrared heat rejection. Those numbers should be pretty high. Like the TSER, you want something around the 60s, right? Somewhere around the 60s is really good. And then for the IRR, you're gonna want in the mid to high 90s if you want a premium ceramic film. If they're selling you ceramic film like in the 70s or below, that stuff is trash. You do not want it. That's probably where you're gonna get your $300-400 ceramic tint job. All right, so I always like to start tinting a vehicle with the rear. This owner is a dog lover, and so am I. I've got my two Huskies, Barry and Coco. Love my dogs, love my fur babies, but it makes cleaning the windows a little bit more challenging. Fortunately, there's not dog hair all over, because when you peel the liner off of the film, it creates a lot of static. So if you're doing like a mobile job, they don't have a nice peel board right there. So I do all my peeling over there in a nice, clean, dust-free environment, and then I bring the film to here, so that way there's not all kinds of static picking up all this dog hair. So if you're getting a mobile tint job, yes, it's very convenient, but just know that they could be in your garage or in the elements, and they could potentially cut on your windows too, because they don't have a glass board typically. Some of them do, but if they're outside, you're not gonna get as clean of an install. So don't expect perfection from a mobile tint job, but some guys do really, really well, and you could get a really nice tint job with mobile service. And then on this rear window right here, I have to take off this panel, because on the third brake light, there's a gasket that the tint's gonna tuck into. So I'm just gonna take this off. It's not screwed in, it's just held in with clips. So I'll go ahead and take that off really quick. And as you can see, none of the clips are broken. One thing to note is there's not a clip here or here on the Model Ys. But yeah, you just wanna be careful. It's just plastic clips, but none of them are broken. So there's a couple things to consider here on this rear window. We've got a computer module right there. So we're gonna wanna make sure that that's covered up with some waterproof tape, because there's these vent holes right here, right? So you don't wanna get water. You can see that light beeping in there. Water gets in there, it's easily $1,000, so we don't wanna do any damage. Same with these defroster wires right here too, right? We don't wanna be jamming our squeegee in there and busting that. Those are just soldered on. Those would break off really, really easy. So we wanna be careful there. And here's that gasket I was talking about. So with these defroster lines, no matter how new a car is, there's always gonna be a tiny bit of corrosion on these defroster lines. So what I do to clean these is I use a Glacé clay bar, and that kind of gets that surface level kind of corrosion off. So that way the tint sticks really well and looks the best. So the first thing we need to do when installing window film is put some sort of substrate on here. You can use dryer sheets, soap, baby powder, all that stuff. I like to use dryer sheets just because it's easy and it smells amazing. So what this does, this is called a dry shrink, because window film is flat and this glass is very curved. It's curved this way and it's curved this way. So we need to shrink it to conform it to the shape of this window. So this dryer sheet allows the film not to stick. So when we shrink it, we can squeegee it down flat without the film sticking. If it's stuck, that would create creases, and that would not look very well at all. So this allows us to successfully shrink the film to the curvature of the glass. So I'll show that process next. Now the Model Y is not terribly complicated, so this should go pretty quick. We're gonna let our heat gun kind of heat up here, and then it's gonna go right along the back. Okay, so I've moved the film off of here. I'm gonna clean all this dryer sheet off the rear window, but you can kind of see the shape of a Model Y rear window. It's like a third of the size of a Model 3 rear window. All right, it looks like the pupper's got the rear window pretty dirty, but we want to keep the dogs dry. We don't want their dog bed to be all wet, so my wife is going to throw out these towels. If you're like, why does he use a unicorn towel? Or these are just old towels we're going to get rid of, and I was like, oh, I can use those for window film. So we'll keep the interior nice and dry, keep the pups nice and dry. Again, we're not just fire hosing all in here. We're just spritzing this to get it clean and install the film. So before I do any of the clay bar, I'm just gonna scrub all of this kind of dog slobber and stuff off of here. Okay, we got the dog slobber all off of there, and then it looks like we've got some sticker residue here and here. We weren't able to see that with the dog slobber. So if you're going to Jim Bob's tint shop or whatever, they're just gonna, oh, just slap it on there, who cares? So we're gonna scrape off this glue very carefully so we don't ruin the defroster lines, and then give it another scrub. Clay bar, spray, squeegee spray, then install. And this is a fresh razor blade right here. Okay, so I think the scrub pad actually got it. I've seen so many of these defroster lines. These have a really light shade to them. When they're dark brown, that's when you know it's pretty bad, but I think the scrub pad took care of this. So we're just gonna go ahead, spray squeegee spray and install. Good, good. The light gap's good. All right, we'll use our tint brush. Oh, yep, good. No light gaps. Good, perfect. All right, and while that's curing up, we're just gonna go ahead and install these rear quarter windows. I'm using the excess film left over from the rear window, so we can do these quarter windows. Glass A tape. So this serves two purposes. It lets me see the border of the window I'm cutting, and then it protects the glass against scratch marks from the knife. All right, so I have both pieces of film here, one with the liner facing in and one with the liner out. So I only have to cut once to get both of my patterns for this window. Okay, there we go. Doesn't fall in down there. No. Okay, perfect. So I should have both of my patterns right here. Yep, I sure do. So the one on the outside, that's the driver's side. And the one on the inside is the passenger side. Okay, so as you can see, we have a really dirty window here, but that's okay, we'll get it clean. We're just gonna have to scrub it a few times. So I just double cut both the rear windows. So we've got driver's side, passenger side. Now I'm gonna shrink the window film and install it. So the reason why I remove these panels is if you just go to your run-of-the-mill tint shop, you're trying to save money. I get it, you know, everyone wants to save a buck here and there, but they're just gonna spray water on this and wipe it down. This is Alcantara and fabric. That slip solution for the tint, it's gonna soak up into this, it's gonna stain, and it's gonna stink. It's gonna be wet, stink. So I remove the door panels and then cover them up. That way there's no water, the LED lights don't get ruined, right? Moisture gets into these electronics, you know, that could cost you thousands of dollars, or you'll have to do a whole thing with a tint shop and they're gonna deny it, it's gonna be a big mess. So if you don't want issues with your tint job, just bring it to me. You'll know it's done right, the tint's gonna look great, and your vehicle's gonna be safe. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this door panel so that way we can safely install this tint on this rear door. so I got my knife, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and shave this edge right here. So we're just gonna start from right here. There we go. And then this piece, this little sliver, that would have made the tint ruined because it would have lifted up. So as you can see, we've got the shape of our window right here with nice rounded edges. I mean, look at that corner. That's hand cut. It's perfect. So the next thing we need to do is shrink the film to the curvature of the window. And there we go. Good. I'm gonna go down just a hair. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. Go over just a little bit. Good. Perfect. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, I'll go ahead and wet it. Make sure this is all lined up good. Yeah, okay, good. The top edge up, we'll bump it up just a little bit. There we go. Oh, that's really good. That's looking great. There we go. We're just gonna go ahead, we'll put our blade right here. And then that little piece, that would ruin the film if I left it on there because it would peel a lot. And it's past 9 o'clock, so you know what that means. Today we're going old school, we're going Celsius, but I'll probably have a ghost after lunch. And here we go. This is a good highlight on why you need to shrink the film, because that's what it would look like if you just stuck it on the windshield without shrinking it. The windshield is the second hardest window to shrink, right behind the sunroof on the Model Y, but we'll get this thing shrunk and stuck on. Okay. Okay, so we got the film all shrunk. I've got it on my peel board. We've cleaned the dryer sheet off the windshield, but the trick to installing these windshields is the double shrink. So the dryer sheet was a dry shrink. Now I'm gonna spray water, squeegee the film down, and then heat out any remaining fingers. That way I won't be fighting with the film inside of the vehicle. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Go right down the middle. Go across. I really like the tint brush because it reduces the chance that you can crease your film all up. Because we're trying to not crease the film. I'm just gonna go along the bottom edge right here, see if anything comes up. Yep, see, like that came up right there. I'd be fighting that inside the vehicle, what a mess. And here is my windshield setup. So I've got my application tools there. I'm just gonna scrub pad and squeegee. And then I've got a towel with a built-in soak rope. So this rope goes in between the dash there, so it keeps all the water from frying all your electronics. We got our screen protected, our steering wheel, and then this all protected here. I also removed these B-pillars right here because two reasons. One, you can really seal the tint down right here. And then also if the tint sticks to this material, it's gonna pick up a bunch of contamination and look bad. It comes off in like 30 seconds. It's so easy. But this is my windshield setup. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the window and install the film. I'll film installing the film. And we are looking at 95.5% of infrared heat rejection on the back with 13.5 and zeroed out, and 13.5 on the front with 92.6. So these windows are perfectly matched. And then when we come in here, we have our aftercare tint instructions with the Star Base Wraps air freshener. QR code on the back to register the lifetime warranty. That's right, all my ceramic film comes with a lifetime warranty. We got the very last Star Base Wraps laser engraved Tesla on the Road tumbler, and another air freshener, a premium Rag Company microfiber glass towel, and a personalized thank you card. And as always, you always leave with a full charge. So got the Tesla charging up here, so it's ready to go for the customer. And that is going to do it for everything you need to know about ceramic tinting your Tesla Model Y. So we can kind of go around here and see, but man, it came out really good. We did 15 on the front window. We did a clear film over the windshield to stay legal, but keep the heat out. We did 50 over the factory tint. That way these two match. And we're getting in the mid 90s for infrared heat rejection. And then if we come around here to the back, we did 50 on the back too. So this is like a really good combination. It's not too dark, not too light, but as you can see, you can't really see in there, but you still maintain some visibility at night. So if you have any questions about ceramic tinting your Tesla, leave a comment down below and I'll answer them as I receive the comments. But hopefully this video helps you out, choose the right film, learn a little bit more about how ceramic films are different, and kind of see the installation process. And if you're in the Las Vegas area and you want an awesome ceramic tint with premium heat rejection capabilities, reach out to me. Ben at starbasewraps.com. All my information is on starbasewraps.com. Keep all my Tesla prices on there. I also do vinyl wraps, so if you want to change the color of your Tesla so you can find your car in the Costco parking lot, we can do that. And paint protection film, ceramic coatings, detailing, whatever you need to make your Tesla stay cool, stay protected, and look amazing. So thank you so much for watching, and if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please hit that subscribe button and like the video, and we will catch you on the next Star Base Wraps video. Thanks for watching.